Enough Said is brought to you by Sheldon Street Pizza. Visit them online at sheldonstreetpizza.com or stop by Sheldon's during your next trip to Lake Orion. Sheldon Street Pizza, the official pizza of Enough Said. And by Fourth Coast Cider Works. Quality craftsmanship, quality hard cider. You can check them out online at fourthcoastciderworks.com or come get a can or a howler at their Canterbury Village location. Not available for anyone under the age of 21. Please drink responsibly. You guys got a huge win this past Saturday against Wayne State on the road. The final in that one, 21-14. You knew they weren't going to make it easy on you. You guys battled throughout, and you got a touchdown in the final minute of the game. Derrick Hinton Junior with the game-winning score. What was the reaction when he took it into the end zone?
Yeah, obviously elation from our players. You know, it was obviously a four-quarter battle in Detroit, and credit Wayne State. They really played hard and really did a nice job. And so obviously Derrick made a nice play, but we had a couple guys that had huge blocks on that play to spring them. And so Isaiah Malcolm, Duke Ingers, Andrew Schrader at the point of attack did a phenomenal job. And obviously that was a big score with less than a minute to go.
Now, what do you make of the way that Derrick Hinton Jr. has developed into being this big playmaker for your offense? It seems like he's had a hand in a lot of the success that you've had this season.
Yeah, Derrick's really been coming on strong. He's really, every week getting better and better. And he's been that guy that we really can count on. He's been a consistent playmaker for us. And we've had this vision for Derrick since we recruited him. And so he's worked really hard here, one of the hardest workers on the team. And so, his hard work is paying off. And so we're just very happy for him.
What did you see out of this young man when you were looking to bring him into your program?
He had all the tools and the skill set that we look for in terms of, wide receiver, slot receiver position. Derrick was a transfer from Lawrence Tech University, played at Lawrence Tech as a true freshman, and obviously had a very productive freshman year. And then came to us basically during the pandemic year. And so we didn't have a season. We practiced all year, and Derrick had a really, really good, fall ball season. And then we had a spring ball season. And so we saw what he was capable of doing. And then in 2021, he started and played a lot for us. And I don't think he had the season that he was hoping to have. And there were a lot of factors that went into that. But so he was really committed this offseason to getting in the best shape that he could be in and really polishing his skill set. And now, he's really finding himself to having a very, very nice season so far.
I'm sure there's been a lot of moments where you guys have been able to share some smiles on the sidelines and some excitement with what he's been able to accomplish. What's it been like just to have that relationship with him, both on the sidelines and just in practice every week?
Yeah, Derrick's just a great young man. He stops in every day after practice to see the coaches, say hi, to watch film for a minute and peek his head in and, visit with us, which is great. It's great when you have guys that, want to be around the coaches, and he's one of those guys. And so he's a football junkie. I mean, he just loves the game and he loves being around people. And, that's why he's wearing number 1 because he's one of the hardest working guys we got. And he's earned that right to wear that number.
I'm going to break out a cliche here. Number 1 in the program and number 1 in your heart. He has been such a great playmaker for you guys. And it's one of the reasons why you're now sitting at 6-2 going into the final 3 weeks of the regular season. I know you've got a lot of work left to do this year, but how do you feel about your team going into this final stretch of the schedule?
Yeah, I feel good. I mean, we're healthy. And so we're excited here. We're at home this week. 2 out of our last 3 are at home. And so, we're very, very excited about our opportunity. We still have 3 really tough opponents, but in the GLIAC they're all tough, and so we've come to expect this. But obviously this week, we're playing an undefeated team in Davenport coming to town. They've been playing great football. They're hot, and so they have a lot at stake here as well, and so we're going to have to be at our best.
When the schedule came out and people were looking at how things were going to develop in the GLIAC, obviously you expected Grand Valley State and Ferris State to be right there at the top. But Davenport, with the season that they have had up to this point, they are 7-0. They actually have a better record than Ferris State. I don't know if anybody really expected that to happen, but they have brought a lot of excitement to the GLIAC. They've kind of announced their presence in this conference. What do you make of the way that they have started this year and just the success that they've had?
Yeah, they did a great job. Their offense has been very productive. Their quarterback, I think, has got 21 touchdowns and 2 interceptions or something crazy. So he's been playing lights out. They have, a handful of receivers that can go up and make plays, and then, they're doing a good job running the football. And so, their offensive production has been great, and then they've always been good defensively. And so they got a very big defensive front, athletic in the back end, and, they play extremely physical on defense. So they're a well-rounded football team. So, and they have been for the last few years. This year, they've really just put it all together, and that's why they're sitting at 7-0. So it's going to be a big game for us.
Getting back to last weekend, and you mentioned that you guys are in great health right now, but you did get a bit of a scare this past Saturday. Andrew Brito, your quarterback, had to leave the game in the third quarter against Wayne State, suffered an injury in that game. What is his status for this Saturday against Davenport?
Yeah, he's been steadily improving every day. I'm pretty confident he'll be available. So he's been doing things this week, and every day just a little bit more. And so he did get dinged up there at the end of the game, and he wanted to go back in, but at the risk of maybe creating more injury, we made the decision to take him out. And so Jarius Grissom came in and did a very nice job and made some plays and put us in the end zone twice, and ultimately that was enough to get the W.
Jarius came in for you guys. He took over at quarterback, and he wound up leading the Cardinals in rushing on Saturday with 81 yards. How thrilled were you that you could have him come into this game and have a tremendous impact like that?
Yeah, he's an interesting young man, and so really he's a starting wide receiver for us. And so our backup quarterback was sick and couldn't go into the game, and so Jarius has kind of always been our emergency quarterback. He took a lot of snaps in camp, and so he was a quarterback in high school, very sought after high school kid. Ended up committing to Eastern Michigan and was Eastern Michigan's starting quarterback in 2020. And then, he transferred and ended up in our lap. And so we've been repping him at QB, at receiver. And so, he's a wild card for us. And so he's did a really nice job. He's very athletic and he's got really good instincts, and he can really make plays. And obviously, everyone got to see that firsthand on Saturday.
Clearly, he has the speed and the ability to run the ball, but coming from Eastern as a quarterback, and you guys made the decision to start him at wide receiver, what were those conversations like, and was there any hesitancy on his part to kind of give up that spot and try a new position?
No, he did play receiver at Eastern as well, so he kind of dabbled in both. And so, we brought him here, and we told him we were going to train him to do both, and that we would let things would just sort out naturally. And so they did, and Andrew Brito won the job, and Jarius proved to be one of our best receivers, so he got the nod to start out there. And along the way we just always sprinkle a few quarterback reps in there just to keep him sharp and in case of an emergency situation like we needed, and happened to work out that way where he came in and he was ready to go and executed and moved the team up and down the field and helped us get a big win.
And after he took over a quarterback for you guys, he ran the ball several times on the drive that he ended up getting the touchdown to tie the game. Was using his speed and legs kind of by design, or did he just find a way to get yards and ultimately score?
Yeah, it was a little bit of both. We obviously had he's a really, really gifted athlete. So, we had a lot of design quarterback runs for him, and he can really throw the football. So, we called some pass plays, and he escaped the pressure and took off and run. He actually threw a 50-yard touchdown pass that got called back. So he really made a nice play, slipped up, flipped it to the back. The back took it and scored, and it was a huge play. And then it got called back, and then he made a number of key third down conversions with his legs that were really critical, including a huge 4th and 3. So he's a winner. He's a highly competitive individual, and so it really wasn't surprising to any of us in the program because we're with him every day.
Obviously, there's not going to be a quarterback controversy with you guys. As long as Brito is able to go, that's the guy that you want out there running your offense. But not giving away too much of your offensive game plan for this Saturday, but could you see yourself maybe utilizing him at that spot a few times in and out, maybe just to kind of keep them guessing what you guys are doing on offense?
Oh yeah, anything's possible. We got 4 quarterbacks that I feel really confident with. That if I had to go into the game, whether it's Colby Newberg or Andrew Brito or Willie Taylor or Michael Horo, I mean, we got some really good quarterbacks here. So, and they're all very well versed on what we're doing, and we get them all ready to play every week. So, anything's possible. So, whatever it takes to win this week, that is our goal.
As far as Wayne State goes, you knew not to take them lightly in this one, and they actually led this game going into the fourth quarter. It was 14-7. What challenges did they create for your offense until Grissom was able to come in and move the football for you guys?
Yeah, we really shot ourselves in the foot. So we turned the ball over 3 times, and the footballs were really slick, and so we were having trouble, managing. The ball security that we needed. And so, Andrew put the ball on the ground a couple times, and that got him, frustrated. And I just thought we really played really tense. It was like we were holding our breath the whole time. And every time something good happened, adversity immediately followed. We started the second half, down 14-7. We got the ball. Derrick Hinton runs the opening kickoff 93 yards down to the 7-yard line. And then the very next play, we fumble, and so just totally it was demoralizing. But I was very pleased. I thought our guys kept their composure throughout quarter number 1, quarter number 2, quarter number 3, until we really started establishing ourselves and gaining our momentum. But I thought we really played the first half in the third quarter with a lot of anxiety. And we really just weren't ourselves. And so finally, when Jarius come in, he gave us a spark. I thought we really loosened up and started, exhaling and playing with confidence and getting our edge back.
Now, you saw some of that a few weeks back against Grand Valley. They kind of had you on your heels, and I know you weren't really pleased with how things went as far as the mindset of your team was in that game. And so to see them regain that composure and actually be able to ride that to a victory, how thrilled are you with the progress that these guys have made in order to just maintain a level mindset and not get too rattled in situations like that?
That's huge, and we talked about it for the game. I mean, that's growth, and that's what you want to see as a coach. You want to see, young men grow and develop, and we've grown as a team. And obviously we displayed that against Wayne State. I mean, there was plenty of adversity. And so it was, I thought our guys stayed calm and composed, and they stayed positive, and it wasn't easy. I mean, it was just like, we throw a touchdown. Oh, there's a flag. Oh, we run a kickback. Oh, no, fumble. I mean, it was over and over again, defense, interception, all right, and then all of a sudden next play, fumble, and so it's just every time, we thought we were going to get it going, something happened, and so It was one of those games. But I was just really proud of my guys for hanging in there and finding a way to get it done on the road.
Yeah, that had to be a very fun bus ride back to Saginaw from Detroit, coming away with that victory. It's your first in the GLIAC, and I want to talk a little bit about your defense. Every week I enjoy talking about the defense and the job that the guys that you have up front and the guys who are in the defensive backfield and the wonderful job they've done for you guys all season long. They did a tremendous job in this game, just keeping you guys in this game because, like you said, there were a lot of mistakes there, and there were a lot of situations where you kind of lost your composure just a little bit, but those guys really stepped up and kept you guys in this long enough for you to make a comeback. How thrilled were you with their effort on Saturday?
The defense was outstanding. Wayne State scores a lot of points, puts up a lot of yards. They're a power running team. And then we held them 66 yards rushing, held them to 14 points. They scored right before the half on a cool little trick play on a reverse and totally fooled us. So I was really proud of the way our defense played in the second half, shut them out, really settled in, tackled well. And then we finished really well, offensively. We, in the fourth quarter, grinded the clock out on a nice four-minute drive and scored the touchdown to take the lead. And then the defense come out and, Wayne had just about a little over a minute to go and a couple timeouts. And so, we had to go out there and play our 2-minute defense and went out there and executed that really well. So I thought we did some really good things, playing some good situational football. And it was good for our guys to, have their backs against the wall and be backed into the corner and have to feel that pressure and respond and make the plays that we need to when it matters most.
You guys are really matured, and you've come a long way since that 2-game losing streak a few weeks back against Grand Valley and Ferris State. Those were games that you were competitive, and now it seems like you guys are coming together at just the right time. You got a really tough test this weekend against Davenport as you guys continue to ride this momentum that you're on. But what are some concerns that you have about your team heading into this matchup with the Panthers?
Yeah, obviously, we want to play our best football. We want to put all three phases together: offense, defense, and special teams. So, offensively, we need to establish the run. We need to be able to run the ball first. And so, last week it was we didn't get our rhythm early on, and so we need to start fast. We need to start fast, and we need to get into our rhythm and execute with a lot of efficiency offensively. So. That's my first and foremost concern is, get that thing rolling the way that we need to. And then defensively, just, eliminating the splash plays. I think that's one area that, we can still improve on defense is eliminating the big play. And then, I've really been pleased with our special teams. We've really did a nice job over the last, I think can see that trend continue in both our punter and our kicker, and Connor Luxick and Ryan Hiker have really been coming on of late. And so, Connor Luxick dropped 2 punts inside the 10-yard line last week, one inside the 5, which is huge, flipping the field. And then Ryan Hiker was, bombing touchbacks. And so that tandem has been really good for us in the kicking game.
You guys are going to be facing them at your place this week, and like you said, you've had some great weather this week. Practices have been great. What has the mindset been like for your team this week?
Yeah, our mindset's been rebound and play our best football, and so offensively we've had a chip on our shoulder this week. Our guys definitely not happy with the way that they performed, and so offensively I felt a different edge this week in practice. And then our defense has just been, they have a ton of energy day in and day out. And so, they want to continue to prove that, they're one of the best defensive units, not just in the league, but in the country. And so we've been outstanding stopping the run. And, I think we're second in the nation in interceptions right now. And so our defensive backs do a great job taking the football away. Got 5 seniors in the back end. And so we love that. And then we're 7th in the nation in red zone defense. So when teams get down there, they're having a real tough time. And so we just obviously want to see, those things continue. If we can, continue to stop the run, and our defensive backs can get their hands on the football, and we can play great red zone defense, and our special teams are solid, and offensively we can get back to running the ball like I like our chances against anybody.
Rebound and play your best football. Those are the two goals for Saginaw Valley State as they get ready to face Davenport, which is undefeated and ranked in the top 25 in Division II this Saturday. Head coach Ryan Brady, you got a tough test in your hands this week, but you are also really looking forward to this matchup. I feel like if you do those things that you talked about, this could be a huge win for you guys and definitely a big stepping stone towards making that goal towards the playoffs.
Without question, and so it's just been a continued pattern here of just one day at a time, and I like when we take that approach, and so our kids have been very focused, and so we just got to keep chipping away here.
I can't wait to see the final score in this one because it's going to be a tremendous game. Everybody's talking about Michigan State, but they should give a little love to Davenport and Saginaw Valley State. This is a huge matchup in the GLIAC this week. I wish you all the best, Coach Brady. Thank you so much for making the time this week.
Thanks, Duff. Appreciate you having me on.
Would you like to hear more about Saginaw Valley State football? Then head to my website, aduffsaid.com. You can hear all of my conversations that I've had this season with head coach Ryan Brady just by going to the Podbean app, Apple Podcasts, the iHeartRadio app, or wherever you get your podcasts. For more on Saginaw Valley State football, be sure to look up my Facebook page, Sports Journalist Duff Tyler. You can also hit me up on Twitter. Just look for Duff Tyler. Until next time, I am Duff Tyler, and I am reminding you that if Duff said it, it must be true, because that's what a Duff said.